All right, peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, and we're live on all channels, man. So let's go ahead and get the party started. Um, CJ, I'm gonna go ahead and let you. I guess we got some late arrivals here. They'll be joining us later, but we're going to go ahead and get started for our audience here. Um, CJ, won't you kick it off? So that way, I got. Plus, we got an event going, so I'm gonna be a minute explaining that and promoting that. So we're gonna get some promotion going. So
Yep.
see, all right. So yeah, I just got the notification we live on all channels. So all right, boom. Let's go get it started. Boom.
Cool. All right. What's up, everybody? CJ the Realtor here in Houston. You're looking to sell, buy, lease, residential or commercial, hit me up. Check out the website, greenwoodrealtytx.com. My social media handle, CJ Sales Texas, at CJSELLSTX. Got any questions on anything, hit me up on the DM. You can give me a call or text 832-338-3182. Got questions on anything, you want to talk some real estate, even if you want to join, the podcast at some point, we're welcome. We're welcoming anybody that wants to join because we're trying to get this information out. But check out the YouTube channel, CJ the Realtor. We're doing our home tours Lux edition, showing you some of the top end properties here in Houston, some of the nice luxury options that we have out here. So check that out. Like, subscribe, share all that good stuff. Everything you do with everybody else, do it in mine too. Then also our nonprofit, the Mansa Academy. Check out the mansaacademy.org. If you're interested in donating time or money, go in there. We got the forms ready for you to fill out. Peace.
Man, y'all pass it, Drew. Hit the like button, hit the share button.
Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead and
all
tell a
that.
friend and tell a friend, man. Hit the
For
like
real,
button,
for
hit the
real.
share button. I know I'm looking at the replay. I see a lot of y'all watch us on the replay, but we need a lot of people watching us live. We need y'all commenting. We need y'all questions live as well to enhance the show and spike your algorithm. So I see a lot of y'all watch us on the replay. I see the analytics. So go ahead and watch us live as well. So let me go ahead into mine real quick. Oh, let me start off like this. Well, let me introduce myself, and then I want to start off with the actual event that we got going. Again, Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210. That's at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. I'm gonna do it a little bit different this week. We got a event coming up March 11th. It's called Collaboration Over Competition, the Investment Club. It's going to be a networking event. It's March 11th, 12 to 5 p.m. It's at Tribeca, Houston, 2020, 2222 Emancipation Avenue. So this is the first of its kind that's ever been done. We put all the head honchos, all the big wigs, all of the smartest brains together to mastermind in three different industries: real estate, the dog breeding industry, and the cannabis industry. So as y'all know, that Texas is accepting applications right now for dispensaries up until April 28th. So we want to be on the curve ahead of things. To get once it goes legal, we already in effect. So I know Diddy already spent like 180 million in New York since it went recreational. So we want to be on that cutting edge. So we're gonna mastermind. We're gonna pool our money together, and I want y'all to be in the house. So go. I put in the comment box the link to the Eventbrite. I'm only taking the first 250 people. So if you ain't got a ticket, you're gonna be SOL. So y'all know what that means. So we can't have the fire marshal shut us down. So it's 250 people that's gonna be in the building. That's it. It's gonna be the top minds and nothing but ballers in the house. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a baller, you're a business owner, you wanna enhance your passive income, you wanna get to that next level where you ain't gotta put the foot on the gas. The money's already coming in. That's true financial freedom. This is a chance to learn and earn. That way you mitigate your risk. Learn from the best. Put some money in, make some money, learn how to do it, then invest your own money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, your own go on projects by yourself, should I say? You know what I'm saying? But learn the industries. That way you make better financial decisions. So let's go ahead and get into the actual some of the my my plugs. So go to my website, www.applywithb.com, to actually start your mortgage process. So right now is the best time. If you're waiting till prices go down, you're going to be still waiting. Again, don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. So if you're going to be waiting until, the summer, thinking that price is going to go down when the rates go down, that's actually wrong. The price is going to go up because everybody's going to be buying.
Man, I need to go on a t-shirt.
Right.
Man,
What?
don't wait to buy real estate.
Yeah, that's your boy saying, the Asian cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. That's that Asian cat that do all the fix and flips out there in California. Well, you do a lot of buying holes. You don't do a lot of fix and flips. You do a lot of buying holes. So you need to do both. You need to do some fix and flips and then get some buying holes as well, to have that supplemental income. Again, at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Go to our website, HoustonCondoSales.com. It's for Houstonians, by Houstonians. If you're trying to buy a townhouse, a new high-rise, or a condo. Go to my website, what's today's rates, if you want to check my rates. Again, I'm in the low fives. How about your bank? If you got a pre-qual, somebody hit me with a pre-qual today that's in the 10%. 10% pre-qual. It's like
10%?
Yeah.
God.
So, all right. Yeah. Hold on a second. Somebody just hit me up. 10%. So I like, damn, we could definitely do better than that. So they filling out the application like they started right before we went on air. So check
That's
my
crazy.
rates. We definitely could get it done faster, cheaper, and better. Period. Go to the YouTube, like CJ said earlier. We got 3 shows that's highly watched and highly bitten. I see. That and often imitated but never duplicated. You know what I mean? Shows I see. It's the subliminal slugs. That the House Tours Lux. We have my behind the scenes, behind the sauce show, and then we have the podcast, The Power of Ownership. So that's all coming out. In fact, I'm about to start, but revamp it again. Just to be on the cutting edge. I'm about to start having more guests live on the show. And catch me. I was on 2 podcasts last week. I'm international. They call me International B now. So I was on a podcast way in India. So I'm making noise way out there. So Indian cat hit me up. It's called Think Ultimate. The Think Ultimate podcast. He's on all the platforms. So check that out. I have a full interview that's up right now. And then I was on Natalie. She's one of the top realtors in Chicago. I think hers is the Investors Network podcast last Monday. So check hers out. That's up right now too. So I'm making my rounds. Also, you could call me 24/7, 832-775-8357. Call me 24/7 if it's about business, if it's about real estate. We could go ahead and talk and do a discovery call and see what you got and see how can I help you. So let's go and get the show started, man. I got a couple of people running late, so we're going to go ahead and start it off. And as they join in, they join in. But I wanted to talk this week, man. Let's talk about social media. Let's talk about marketing, social media, and how it affects a business, how it's changed the business. You probably noticed, we started at the same time. So you probably noticed a difference just in the, when we started back in 17, difference from now from then to now. So what do you think about social media? How has it impacted the business, and where do you think it's going, and so on and so forth?
Man, that's like taking off. Even though it was a popular thing back then, people were using more for like just networking and checking in with friends. But businesses are really utilizing it a lot more than they used to.
Mm.
And now with the whole OpenAI ChatGPT situation, it's like things about to get really, really crazy right now with that. So,
Right.
It's ever evolving.
Right. I mean, the main difference that I seen in 17, that's when I think Facebook just acquired Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and like I think the year before that, it was kind of silly. I think it was just kind
Yeah.
of like pictures.
Mm-hmm.
It went from it was making this evolution process where we first started. Like it went from pictures, then they had the video, and there was something like Vine where it was only like
Yeah.
7 to 10 seconds.
Yep.
Then they had the Instagram TV where it was something separate where you could do like a minute or so.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just constantly got better and better. Now it's evolved, to where it's damn near almost a 24/7 commercial.
Yep. Because like when Instagram was out by themselves, independent of Facebook, they was killing Facebook.
Right.
So
Right.
shoot, when you can't beat them, buy them.
Right. And they bought
So,
them up and
so they bought
then
them, and then
they,
like you said, the Vine came out, killing it with the 7-second videos.
right.
Then Instagram started doing their thing, and it just get adding more
Right.
time to it, adding different
Right.
features to filter. So you seeing like
Right.
the stuff like
Then
Snapchat and TikTok.
the live feature, so
Hmm.
that killed the Snapchat. So everybody
Yep.
moved over to actual Instagram from there. So with the live feature, so now you could basically, and then they monetize everything with the badges, and that's all new from the last year or two during the pandemic. So
Hmm.
now it's pretty much set up for you to be. You could be an Instagram millionaire. You could be a straight up entrepreneur just off of the gram, just off of being an influencer.
And you can be an international business
Right.
now. Before you didn't have that exposure.
Right. Not without even leaving your house. I
Right.
I knew it was real when I went to Walmart and I went to Best Buys, and there's a whole section for content creators.
Yeah.
There's a whole section, a whole
That
aisle for content creators.
they got the whole kit over there you could
Right.
buy.
So everybody is trying to create content. So it's a different world than it was 10 years ago. And I see a lot of realtors and I see a lot of loan officers, especially they're stuck in the 2012, stuck in pre-2010. They hadn't adapted. It's 23. It's a whole new decade.
They still
So
they still putting stuff on MySpace.
right, they haven't. There's some not throwing in slugs. Got no Corey's coming on the show later on, but there's some people that haven't adopted the social media age. I was one of the first to adapt it, so to embrace it. But there's still some that use this as a passive thing,
Hmm.
and this needs to be one of your main priorities. This is one of the first things when I went broker, and one of the first hires that I made was this social media manager.
Yeah, because that's true. Social media should be or is one of the number one marketing tools, especially in a lot of cases it's free.
Right. Well,
Unless you
you
want to
get
run ads, but you don't even have to do that all the time.
well the way people consume content is different than it was 10 years ago.
Yep.
So I think 10 years ago, a lot of people you still could get network content. Now
Hmm.
all that's gone. This was before Sling and this is before all the a la carte stuff. So now nobody has DirecTV. Hardly anybody has DirecTV or Comcast or anything like that. Most
Right.
people have either Sling or Hulu or Netflix, and they watch stuff when they want to watch it.
Yep.
Or YouTube. Most people don't even watch TV anymore. It's YouTube clips and stuff like that. So YouTube is the new network. YouTube is the biggest network.
Yep.
Instagram is the biggest media content right now. So you got to embrace that. So people, radio and TV are the dinosaurs,
Yeah, because shoot, millennials don't know what a VCR is.
right?
We we couldn't. It wasn't no live TV back then. You couldn't rewind
Right.
live TV.
And so this is the difference. Before used to have only the large companies could advertise on national TV.
Yep.
Now that it's kind of even the playing field because the technology's there. And it blows my mind. I want to get into this a little bit later on. How some people, especially realtors, understanding that there is no marketing department. You are the marketing department. Or rather starve to death than actually embrace the free stuff. This stuff is free. So let me ask you this. What are you ashamed of? Why hadn't they embraced the social media knowing that this is what fuels the business? But you'd rather still do stuff that's outdated. They rather door knock. Door knock. Nobody's coming to the door because they got Ring. They got the cameras at the door. I'm sitting somewhere across town looking at you. Nah, we don't want any.
Right.
You know, people
Oh,
rather
shoot,
cold call.
you could be sitting in the living room on your phone, like, what you want?
Yeah, people rather cold call. People, I get at least 20 calls a day, and it says spam. Do not answer. You know, so and I don't answer. You know, and if it comes from a spam number, I delete I don't know, even listen to the message.
All right, and you probably didn't block the number.
So that's ineffective. You know, it's already pretty much blocked because it goes with the spam filter that I got Verizon. And the spam filter automatically sends it to voicemail. It rings like one time, it goes to voicemail.
Yeah.
And then from there, if I see it's a spam, I automatically delete it. I don't even listen to it. So it's ineffective to do this cold calling. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the people that want to do the mass text. You know, Keller Williams just got sued for $40 million. $40 million they had to pay because you have to be careful if they're on a do not. You got to be careful with these robo dollars and stuff like that. So that's about the laws. Then got caught up with that stuff. That's ineffective.
Yeah.
So now you got the people that you know they do these dinners and they do the lunch and learn, and you pack one or two people. You know, so you know you have to embrace. It's crazy to me. I see some of these realtors, and you look at their numbers. You know, because that's another thing. Surprise! We can see all your numbers. You know, so I don't know what the out of control ego. That's what I'm gonna talk about on the Power of Ownership podcast this week is ego. So a lot of realtors have this out of control ego, but I look at your numbers and you're starving. And then I look at your social media presence or your digital presence, you don't have one. So whose fault is that? And when
Nobody but your own.
yeah, so people would rather starve to death than embrace the now. It's crazy, you know. It's crazy. Like they'll rather, you know, I'm gonna do it the way I know how, and it's outdated. It's outdated. It's like anything else. Like I'm from a different era where when we used to have to write down girls' phone numbers on napkins.
Right. Right. Hey, write it in your hand. Hope it's still there.
Write it, you know, write it on your hand. Write it, you know. So is that effective now? Man, that's the way I grew up. I'm still writing on napkins.
You ain't gonna get no numbers.
Like, you know what I mean? So that's the mentality. Like, man, come on, what are we doing? You know, so you got to embrace the new age. You have to be aware of what's going on. And hold on.
Getting some things over there.
Yeah, I mean, people hitting me up. So yeah, that's the thing, man. You got to embrace the new age again. And this is another thing I want to say about that. Perfection, like what is it? Mark Cuban said, perfection is the enemy of profit. So a lot of people think they got to be perfect in order to be on social media.
Right.
That's not the case.
Right. When you're not perfect, that shows you're human.
Well, that's what people are attracted to. Don't forget it. Look at the age how it went. It went from everybody back in the days. It was all about the actors, all about Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. You know, this is back in our era.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Denzel Washington. You know, Will Smith back in the day before he slapped people. You know, so then it went to the reality show personalities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got the housewives and all that was celebrities.
Yep.
So that mean that people want to see. You know, you had the MTV shows where you know the house. What's the name of that show back in the days, man?
Talking about Cribs?
Not Cribs, but you had the house where it was all
Real
in the house.
World. Real World.
Real World. Yeah, Real
Yeah.
World back in the days, man. They had Real World. Then they had Big Brother. So
Yeah.
people wanted to see real people in real life situations. So people got out of the fake. They don't, they would still have the movies to go to the movies, but they had a thirst for people, seeing people to relate to people that look like them. So now this is the latest evolution of it. You could be on you. Your neighbor is on Snapchat. Your neighbor is on TikTok. Your neighbor is on social media. This is in your
Everything.
neighborhood.
That's around be on OnlyFans.
Right. You know, you got OnlyFans, you got all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So let's see what the comments saying. Hold on a second. You know, man Hyman, why you hop on? He said he don't believe social media can be the only tool we can use in our business. And then while I got social media is a tool that you have to learn and how often to use it. Just like anything else. With social media, you know, you have to with any tool. Let's say for example when they had the dialers come in. Or you had the what other software they have for realtors that came in? What is the dot loop and all that stuff?
Oh no, that's just a document software, but like the
Well,
different sites that the leads with the dollar and all that.
right,
Like I think like Red Star and some other ones.
right. Yeah, let me put the link in the chat, but let me put the link in the chat. Hold on a second.
I say you can be successful without social media, but nowadays to get that information out to more people is it's a lot easier using social media. And now, like even with LinkedIn, you even
Trey, what's
see
going on? You got a cam up.
somebody who we got.
This is Trey. I don't see your cam. Is your cam working? You gotta unmute yourself.
You don't hear him either.
So you mute. Your mic isn't connected, and the cam is not connected. So I'm gonna remove you. Come back in when and get your microphone and cam together. I'm gonna remove you and you come back in. Um, but yeah, the CRM is what I'm talking about. So you had to learn all that stuff. You had to learn this stuff. So I think social media shouldn't be a passive thing. I think it should be a active thing, an aggressive thing. And because first of all, it's free. It's a free tool. You know, YouTube and all that stuff. So you got to learn the difference of the social media. YouTube is for mainly long form. Instagram and TikTok is for short form. And, you know, going live is for, you know, you got to learn when to go live, all that stuff like this. And you got to create an audience. Like I said in my book, like, first of all, the key to sales and the key to scaling big business is creating a market. Marketing is just not promoting. Marketing is creating a market for yourself. So how do you create a market for yourself? You got to give them something. You got to give them something significant, personal, and unexpected. And how do you do that? It's so easy nowadays to get content. You give them entertainment. You give them education. You give them hope. You give them inspiration. You give them, you know, aspiration. You know, so that's what you give them. You know, and then people cling on to you. People become compartmentalized. People like, you know, people like themselves. So it's different than when they had one person that sell furniture in the whole city. You know, one or two realtors in the whole city. Now you got 40,000 of you guys,
It,
50,000 realtors just in Houston.
they said 50,
You know,
but they said this year is going to drop.
right. So yeah, half of them gonna be gone because they don't know how to market. You know, so that's the thing is like marketing. I think this is your job. You are a salesperson and a marketer. Period. That's the job of it. You know, and it's a different. Somebody was trying to come on this side. I interviewed somebody. When was this? Yesterday. Coming from a bank, like to be on the broker side. It's a different. Had to explain it. It's a different ball game. You know, it's different than 9 to 5. If you want a 9 to 5, you might as well get a job. You know, this is different. You know,
I had to remember too. So when I got into real estate, before that, I was an engineer making a salary.
right.
But you know, I had sales experience before, but just hadn't used it in a while, so I was a little rusty. So getting back into it, I had to relearn and learn some new stuff.
Right. Hold on a second. Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. That's the job. That's what I think is the job is being able to market, create your market, which basically you become a merchant, and you find those who are willing to do business with you now, if not right now, later on down the line. Then you have to be a salesperson, and when they actually do reach out to do business, you have to close the deal. And that's all this is. That's blocking and tackling. Marketing and selling is blocking and tackling. All the other technical stuff could be taught. It's so computerized now, especially on our side. With loans, it's a matter of actually finding. You got to have product knowledge and stuff like that. You got to know where to take them, stuff like that. That's fine. That's easy. However, but getting the consumer to actually do business with you is a different story.
Yep.
And a lot of people can't break out that mold. Like, man, so with that being said, I think you need to. If that's not you, I think you just need to work for somebody.
Yeah.
Because this on this side, you're everything. But then again, you on the agent side. What do you think? Like, I think people just want to do that one or two deals that they can stumble on each year and then work that job.
I mean, like everybody talks about multiple streams, and everybody's not ready to let that job go.
Right.
So that's how a lot of people work their way into it, is by doing it part time.
Right.
But you definitely got to do some deals and produce, because like, people don't realize that the fees that are involved with doing real estate as an agent. Because an agent say, I'm an agent now, and I'm out here and I can do whatever, making all this money. It's a lot of fees.
Right. All right. So let me ask you this: as far as part timers in the business on your side, because I'll speak to my side here in a second. How do you think that? Do you think they ever could become full time with that type of strategy, or do you think that's a good strategy to be part time and do your one or two deals and hold on to your salary, or you think that it's clogging up the system?
I mean, it depends. It depends on what they're trying to do, because a lot of people just want to make a couple of hundred, maybe $1,000 a month. You can do that part time, but if you want to get out there and because if you think about it, the job that you work for, there's always a limit on what you can make. There's no limit when you jump out here and do real estate as an agent full time. The thing is, it's a lot of work. So you can punch a clock in and still get you the same salary. And out here, you eat with the kill. So a lot of people ain't built like that.
I have a different philosophy. I think I'm realist. I study human behavior, and I'm just seeing human behavior. If you're a part timer, a lot of people take it as a part time job, and and if you don't get paid, we have the mentality: if I'm not directly getting paid like hourly, I don't take it serious. So you can even tell, but I've been doing this so long, I can tell by the posture of somebody if they're a part time agent. They don't have that snap. They're like, they're waltzing through it.
Yeah, we're passive with it.
They're real passive with it because they're like, all right, I'm not getting paid for this, and if you want to buy, you can buy. You got the eager beavers that's new, and then you got the ones that've been part time for a while, and they just waiting for that lay down. They're waiting for that person to stumble down and just buy.
Yeah.
So they're just going through the motion.
Yeah, so they expecting it to come to them instead of them going to go get it.
Right. So with that being said, it's almost like you in a quicksand. You never gonna get to where you in it full time because you gotta have cocked effort. So it takes that special person. Like, all right, this is you gotta have a target. Like one motivational speaker said, if you don't have a target, you don't know what you're shooting at.
Right.
So you got to be real strategic. All right, by this month, I got to let this job go. So I need X amount of sales by then. I need this, I need that. You got to really have a game plan. And most people don't have a game plan. They hop in and see where it goes. Let me hop in the water, see how it feels.
Yeah, no, they still got one foot on the porch. They ain't gonna jump off.
Right. They hokey pokey, have left foot in, left foot out, do the hokey pokey. You know what I mean? So that's what they do, and that's why you never. I don't think a lot of part timers will never get to their goal because you don't take it serious.
Nope. I mean, in the end, probably fear too.
Right, and then you got the flip side of the coin that you got these agents that's been in it 3 4 years and they stagnant because they scared to embrace new stuff. They had a mediocre success where they closed a few. But in order to get to the upper echelons, Hyman, what's going on? Do a mic check so we can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you a little
Yes.
bit. You
A little
kind of
bit.
low.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. But
What
finishing
I'm
my thought, then I'll open it up to you real quick. But yeah, I think on the flip side, like a lot of them just they stagnant because they don't embrace new things. They don't. They had one or two plays that work, but just like a football game, yeah, you might score one or two touchdowns, but the defense is ever changing. And you have to adapt and keep going and try new things, and that's why I like Coach Payton for the Saints. That's why he's always going to be a cold coach, because he would switch that up every week. Every week he have something new every week he have new plays. So
You got to, because they're watching film on you, so you can't keep doing the same thing.
exactly, just like we were talking about with social media, like people watch us and they bite us quickly before we even get a chance to shine on our own stuff. I feel like Raekwon back in '95. With Raekwon and Ghost on the purple tape. Before we even get a chance to shine on our own stuff. So the thing is that you gotta keep going. You gotta keep evolving, keep getting better and better and better and better, and not be afraid to try new stuff and be groundbreaking. Just like what we're doing with the collaboration over competition. That's new ground, never been done before. Hyman, I'll open it up to you. Where we're at, we were talking about social media. If you want to elaborate on what you're saying in the comments, and then we will evolve the conversation to is part timers that are stagnant, and do you believe that they could ever switch over to full timers? And with can you survive nowadays without embracing social media?
Um, yes, you can survive without embracing social media, but you have to be a lot more strategic. Um, Social media is one of those things that if you push enough stuff out there to the world, it will come back. Whether you have a strategy or whether you're able to really study what you're putting out and seeing how effective it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting out a bunch of stuff. Yes, you will get an opportunity to meet enough people to eventually convert enough, get enough leads to eventually convert enough to a deal. Yes, that is very possible. Very possible.
Right.
There is a place for social media. Like I said, it's just another tool that you can use. My concern or my thing about it is that it can't be the only tool that you use. It can't be
Right.
the only way that you do business. I'm still of the old school mindset. Yes, I have knocked doors. Yes, I have done cold calling. Yes, I've done it all. And through that process, it taught me how to convert better, how to be a better agent in situations that you just can't predict. Like if you put the right ad on Facebook, somebody's gonna call you, right? You put the zero down, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, beautiful pictures and everything. Somebody's gonna call you and ask you questions, and at that point, it's your job as an agent to convert, right?
Right.
And if you have the ability to convert at a high level, yes, you will be able to build the pipeline like the lenders like to talk about to create enough business throughout the year. And eventually that business will turn over into transactions, which will turn into deals, which will turn into paychecks. So yes, there is a place for it, and yes, it does work. For me, I've survived without really being consistent on Facebook. I have no online presence. You can go look at me, you'll be like, oh, so he doesn't do nothing but every so often. If I have a new listing, I push it. If I have a new house that I'm trying to sell, I push it just to say I've done it and let people know that I have it. A lot of the business I do comes from my spirit and my ability to convert. Right, I took a lot of time because I come out the KW system. I took a lot of time in learning what how people think and how they see money and real estate. And when I took the time to learn that, I'm able to convert at a higher level. So I don't have to funnel, let's say, I think at KW they teach you need to have in your lead generation, you need to have at least 70% need to come from Spear, 10% needs to come from social media, 10% needs to come from some type of marketing that you pay for. And let's say if you do 10 out of, if you get one out of each one, as a rookie, you're only going to be able to convert 30% because you don't know what you're doing. But as you get better as a seasoned agent, you begin to be in 60%. And that's where I am. So I can convert a lead I can convert, even though I get less leads, say, than you and CJ, but I can convert. My conversion rate is probably a little bit higher because y'all got to rummage through all the, okay, they not ready to next year. They not ready to 90 days. When I'm finding a person that's going to be ready tomorrow. Okay?
Right. So you
saying convert that helps me a lot more.
Right. So you saying that that like I definitely agree. If you've been in seasons a while, you could basically work off referrals as well. You don't need to actually. There's more than one way, but I would say, especially for new agents, social media is probably one of the most important ways, to go about it. Yes, you can work off your sphere of influence. Yes, you can pay for leads, and then yes, you can work off referrals. However, the way the behavior of shoppers has changed. So even if they refer you out, let's say, hey, I get this all the time. Yeah, Brandon, I got your information from such and such. Oh yeah, by the way, I like your podcast. So they've already checked me out before they call me.
Very true. Very true.
So they're gonna Google me.
Oh yeah, they're gonna Google you.
Right.
For sure.
So they're gonna Google me, check me out, and the whole nine.
That's a lot of people these days. Because you're saying if somebody just meets you, especially from a business experience, the first thing they're gonna do is Google to see what pops up.
Right. Exactly.
Sure, they doing that on the date now. They see somebody on there. They gonna make sure them pictures match up.
Yeah. Who is this girl right here?
Right.
That you all caught up with. Yeah, it's always gonna be always that.
Yeah. So hey, yeah.
The technology has changed. Corey, go ahead and introduce yourself since you're just coming in, and then join the conversation. This gonna be one of those opposing sides because we talking about social media today. So your nemesis, man. So. You know what I mean? So go ahead and introduce yourself. Hop in, man. Hop in the conversation.
Corey Smith, man. You're saying mortgage broker, tapping in. You're saying trying to figure out what's the last question the topic that we on.
Well, this whole thing about social media and marketing. We've evolved the conversation to kind of talk about can new agents, especially on the agent side, survive without social media? And do you think that how do you think part-timers could or in your opinion, do you think part-timers could eventually become full-timers? In this business with being so saturated, especially if they don't embrace social media, if they don't have an online presence. Like how's this gonna happen for them?
So my take on that was as far as the new agents. Let's talk about the new agents if they're trying to drum up business. Mm-hmm. I think social media is an added component, but you don't necessarily have to have it in order to be successful. There's a lot of agents that actually come into the business who network is just there. They just know enough people to actually give them business. The person that comes into the game where their mom has been an agent for 30-something years, and then now the mom is looking for an exit, or you have the mom or dad that's a financial planner, and now they're going to feed them deals. Everybody network connection is a little bit different. I think for the masses, you have to have some kind of marketing to get out there to more people to give you a better chance of winning business. But I don't necessarily think it's a must to have social media in order to kind of be successful from the agent side.
Right. So, all right. So I'm a challenge. I gotta challenge you. I got Kevin Samuels on that one. So right. How would that look?
This show,
huh?
That's what makes it.
I said, talk to me.
Right. So besides the 1 in 3,000 people that their mom was a successful agent, how would they, besides social media, how would they build their business? What in 2023?
Boots on the ground. There's always some kind of networking event that you can actually go to put your face in front of somebody. If
Right.
you're at a grocery store and you're just sparking up conversation and you just like talking to people, period, you can always find some kind of business in order to kind of, excel your business, so to speak. But if you're not that person that likes to walk up to strangers and talk to them, then maybe that's not for you. If you're the person that can't walk into an special event or something, not know anybody there, not have anybody with you, and you're scared to talk to people, then maybe social media is for you. But I think
I would say,
there's
shoot,
many
they need to
avenues
stick to their
out there.
job.
Yeah, I mean, so at the end of the day, we're in sales. So
Right.
in sales, you have to be people person, and you have to be okay with talking to strangers. If you're not okay with talking to strangers, then your business could actually struggle.
I think, again, my philosophy, I know you see me on the Think Ultimate podcast. Again, you got to be high touch and high tech. Just high touch, like they used to do it in the 60s and 70s, where it's all about the cigar lounge, it's all about the bar, it's all about the grocery store.
Cigar works very
You
well.
know, so that's like cutting, like cutting a field of grass with wire cutters. You cutting one blade at a time. When you can get on that John Deere, which is Twitter, Instagram, and all that, and cut the lawn, get on the ride lawnmower. So it's a difference. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to detail that yard, but it's just the technology is there for you to do it more efficiently.
Yeah, but everybody focused to business is a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that want to be the Amazon. Like, I want to touch everybody in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got some mom and pop shops that's just like, look, if I can get a few deals here and there just to keep the lights on, then I'm good.
Right.
I think you're saying you have to find out what your objective and goal is. But I don't necessarily think that you got to have, okay, so I'll put it this way. There's a lot of the baby boomers, which is the older people that, actually do real estate that are not doing social media, and they're doing just fine.
Right.
Yeah. And I think too, like, it's a tool, especially coming out of COVID, everybody quarantined in the house. It ain't no events to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you got to come up with a way to reach people still. And if we ever fall into that position again, where we're going to be stuck in the house for a certain amount of time, even though they consider us essential workers, we can still go out and work.
Mm-hmm.
That in-person networking component is gone. So then what do you do? So it's all about being prepared, even though some people think, it's not that important. It still comes into play and can provide value in cases like that, especially.
Well, this is my thing. I think I have a different philosophy than with obviously, we do. It's crazy because we do. I think I edged you a little bit, but we do similar numbers. But it's just two different ways to skin a cat. As far as me, Corey and I, but I have a different philosophy. It's not that I'm trying to touch everybody. It's just that my niche is like sushi. You have to have a taste for me. And then the wider I cast that net, the wider I find those people that like sushi.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Instead of just one at a time.
Great point, B. Dix, I must say.
Right.
But here's the thing. Sushi eaters know where to go get sushi at. And
somewhat, but there's places open. There's places opening every week.
So are sushi eaters on social media, or are sushi eaters at the Japanese restaurant? I'm not going to send something to Burger King looking for a sushi eater. I'm gonna send it to Kangbo or Japanese Grill where sushi eaters are. And
how would you hear about the new buzzing spot? How would you hear about the new popping spot that everybody's going to if you're not on social media?
It's typically word of mouth.
Yes.
A lot of
we're talking about trying
mouth.
to find a new deal. Resources, yes. Social media has its place. Like I said earlier, it does have its place.
Right.
But as far as a primary lead generating tool, for me, and because you got to go through so many people. Once again, I'm putting like Corey said, I got to keep my lights on, man. My light bill is due next month. I ain't got time to go through 1,000 people just to get one to get the light bill paid.
I disagree. Like I think social media is actually good. The person I pre-qualified today is actually be pretty good people. Good credit. They when they ready to go, they'll holler at you.
True.
You know, and you've been giving them something for a while. They like your content, they like your swag, they like your personality, they like your spirit. So they want to do business with you.
I agree.
Don't
So
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're saying you know it's social media is a bad thing, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when it comes to actually drumming up business, the more marketing you have, hell, you can get business sending out mail flyers in the mail. You know what I'm saying, to people. Your conversion rate is not going to be high, but you can still get business that way.
Well, everything works for.
Don't think I'm anti-social media. You know what I'm saying? I think it's still a great avenue in order to
anti-social media.
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying, it's not mandatory. Like, do social media or have a failed business. Is all I'm saying.
I think it's getting to that point. I think it's going to be very, very, very few instances where you could not have a digital footprint and have a successful business.
I can be honest with you. CJ brought up a valid point about when the pandemic hit. We all had to adjust one way, and we all had to form some type of online frame. I agree 100%. Some form of it. And I know for me, it made me realize, okay, I can either understand how to be better at it or get extremely more creative. And I just learned how to be better at it. And I realized for me, my clientele is not on Facebook looking for me. My clientele on Facebook posting about their kids, about their children, about going to the Astros game. So am I trying to engage them about the Astros and then eventually wing them back to buying real estate from me? Like I said, my light bill is due next month. If you got to do, I think you got to have at least 3 to 4 touches. So if
7
you do
touches.
3 or 4,
Oh yeah, it's more than that.
7
okay, if
touches.
it's more than that, my light bill is due on the 15th, right? And I get somebody new. That means I got to touch them 4 times just for them to say, consider to do business with me and try to create the transaction. My lights is cut off, B-Dick. My lights is cut off, CJ. Let me hold 300, get the light bill paid until I close this transaction.
You're looking at it the wrong way.
300, you need to get out of that big house.
Yeah. Well,
We're going to get you something small.
you're looking at it the wrong way. You're supposed to, it's not, first of all, real estate has the longest turn, one of the longest turns in any sales type environment. It has one of the longest funnel, it's one of the longest funnels ever. It can take months, it can take years. So if you're trying to get immediate gratification, this might be the wrong business. I get it that so this one. So everything is layered. So people, the guy that hollered at me today, he's been watching me for years. It might take years for the eventually, all right, now I'm ready. But however, I'm planting seeds for the future. And then you got to embrace this thing. You got to be in you, not on you.
That works. So remember what we broke down the pie chart. The way they taught us at KW, 70% spirit, 10% you buy leads, and 10% social media. So that one guy that took a year to come and see you, that other 70% came from people who already knew you, or you had maybe planted a seed last year, they come this year.
Right. So
it works. I don't disagree that it does not work.
Right.
My thing is in order, it needs to be a part. I don't believe it needs to be the whole.
I believe it. I don't believe it needs
What's
to be
the
the
percentage
whole.
it should be, B-Dix? Talk to us.
I believe it needs to be the actual. I believe it needs to be the actual. The catalyst to everything else.
So you saying it should be 70?
I say social media 70. I say the others 10%. Your sphere of influence. Let me explain. Let me explain. Then I want to get Patrick.
I wish you could see my face. Let me get in the camera. Wow.
All right. Let me explain. Don't forget ridicule.
We out here, CJ. We pounding the pavement, and we got look at here.
Right. You heard it here first. Back in 2023, B. Dixon was telling y'all this.
What CJ is drinking, so I can be relaxed.
Right. So, and Patrick, I see your comment. Patrick, I see your question. I'm gonna get to it here in a second. But let me explain.
Go ahead.
Let's take it back to this. You know, I got to layer it. The way we used to do things and the way these millennials and Generation Y do things is totally different. It's a different story. It's a different ball game now. If you're not online and they don't see you, they most of the time, if you see somebody, their head's in the phone. Back in the days, we used to socialize more. We used to play stickball. We used to play pole. We used to have the neighbors and stuff. Most of the people have a very, very small sphere of influence. They don't even mess with their own family. You know, so it's changed. They have more social media groups than actual and video game people than actual family that they really mess with. It's a different ball game. So digital, I am their friend digital. They listen to every word I say. You know, I am part of their life. Their digital life. You see what I'm saying? It's changed. You know, people. You used to back in the days. We had to holler at the girl that was in our city. You know what I mean? if she wasn't at a dance, I couldn't holler at her.
See him first.
Yeah, I had to see the broads first. You know what I mean? Now it's changed. I could be hollering at somebody in New York, Chicago, London. You know, I could fly somebody, man. Go ahead, man. Book that ticket. It's changed, but ticket, you know, it's a different ball game out here. So the sphere of influence has shortened. The digital presence has widened. So I would say that social media, the way people shop, again, let me reiterate this. People will go online first. They see a property. They're going to Google that property. And the first thing that whatever to pop up, they're going to research that property. And if you have something tied to that property, let's say CJ got a listing, they're going to research CJ. They're going to research Hyman. They're going to do all of this research before they even reach out to you. And if they see, all right, man, CJ, man, used to be a Black Panther. I might have second thoughts about buying this property, man. Can you send me something else? So it's changed. It's the cancel culture. It's a different ball game. And the reason why I say this, I'm warped because again, I came up under Mattress Mac. Mattress Mac always, you know, my mentor always said, look 10 years ahead. Don't live in the past. Look what's going to be 10 years in the future. So if it's like this now, how do you think it's going to be 10 years from now? We're going to have robots. We're going to be flying robots in next. It ain't going to be real girls. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look 10 years down the line. You know,
yeah. Because if you think about who's gonna be buying in 10 years, because like baby boomers on their way out,
right?
Gen X as we getting older, the millennials are next.
What's important to the baby boomers? Baby boomers real high touch. They got a lot. You know, you got to be in a social club. They got to be the high. That's gone. People like me because I like Wu-Tang Clan. People like me because I'm a Saints fan. People like me because I remind them of Ross. That's why people like me. CJ, am I lying?
You're going to be on the Versace shirt next week.
Right, people, man.
With your chest out.
With the shirt, I'm gonna do some videos with the shirt off, man. You know what I mean? So, but that's why people mess with me. It's different, bro.
I don't disagree.
It works.
With
I'm just saying it works. It works for you. It works for many others. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole digital footprint, 100% agree with, right?
Right.
But I don't think anything would beat that face-to-face interaction with anybody. And then you're saying even with the digital footprint, you still have things like BNI Club, where you know what I'm saying, you got people that go meet face-to-face on a month-to-month basis. You know what I'm saying? And then their referral networks where they're giving business to each other. there's an agent that just went to an event or some kind of expo or something this past weekend, and they was there face to face talking to people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it ain't the only food on the plate.
No,
But I do see the necessity for it.
Right. I'm not saying it's the only way, but I think it's the biggest way, and I think everything else gonna bounce off of that because you got to get to that face to face. You know, you
So
got
you
to get to that meeting in front of the customer. You got to get to that.
B, so you believe in the fact that you get a higher return based on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. CJ,
Correct.
what's your return? What's your return on online?
I can't even calculate. It's just, yeah, it's so.
Because you know what? You got to remember, realtors and lenders
Different.
process is a hell of a lot different, right?
Mhm.
So you can dump a bunch of people in the pipeline and then just contact them every so often, see if they're ready to get a loan.
Right.
Once again, that light bill is due on the 15th. I can't dump a bunch of people in the pipeline and think that at some point they're going to turn over next year.
Right.
Man, but at the same time, you need that too, because just like last year, I had a pipeline of ready to go people, and then as soon as they went up on those interest rates, they got priced out.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had buyers that turned into renters or people that just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I started looking forward to the future on those people that were getting ready and trying to move them in to see if they could go ahead and do something now. So it's not just about unlike like spirit influence, all that definitely needed. I agree.
Right.
Social media and these digital platforms are a way to get your pipeline rebuilt or filled up with more potential clients.
You know, I'm not a pipeline guy. You can hear that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know everybody, so you don't need no pipeline.
Who I know?
Let's pin this right here. Let me answer Patrick's question right here. It said, B, you shared that you started with a social media manager. What made you go with a manager instead of going at it on your own once you decided to be active on social media? I did it on my own for 6 years. You know, once I went broker, and what I mean by social media manager, I hired basically an in-house editor and a shooter. So that way, all my videos were supposed to get to another level. We hadn't got there yet, you know, because we have issues with the actual person I hired. So I'm going to have to rethink that. I might go cross seas and get my editing done. But my focus was to really actually beef up my and take it to another level, get more and more creative with the social media, you know. So basically, you have to damn near be an influencer. You know, in a space, if you want to be a juggernaut in that space, it just depends on where you want to go. Just like, you know, what outcomes you want. If you want to be big and a big fish in that space, you damn near have to be an influencer. This is what it is. You know, and like Corey said earlier, like, this depends on the outcome you want. If you want a few deals a year and, you know, you want to make 100,000, couple of 100,000, shoot, you know, cool. You get you a couple of referral partners and you don't have to be on social media, but I'm trying to dominate the field. I'm trying to be, again, the coldest loan officer on the planet. That's my tagline. You know, where you, just like Mattress Mac, when you think of furniture in Houston, you think of Mattress Mac. When you think of loans, you're going to be thinking of me.
Hey, B.
Right.
So here's the thing. Identify the difference between branding and marketing. Shoot.
Branding and marketing is simply this. A lot of people don't understand what marketing
I
is.
know it.
Marketing is simply creating a market for yourself.
Oh, wow. You took that approach. I wasn't expecting you to take that approach. Go for it.
Right. So how do you create a market for yourself? And I said this on your boy podcast, Think Ultimate. It's the first chapter of my book. It's called Reciprocity. So, you know, people have an innate signal in them as primal that if you do something nice for them, they want to do something nice for you. So you have to give them something. My mentor, Mattress Mac, used to say you got to make a deposit before you make a withdrawal. So a lot of people want to, you know, just go to the bank and, hey, I want to give me $1 million and you ain't put nothing in the bank yet. So you got to put, and what you depositing is this content. I'm giving them my personality. I'm giving them my values. I'm giving them my spirit. And then in turn, they feel obligated to do business with you if they like you.
No.
You know, I'm seeing it every day.
No.
You know,
See, I had to turn around and tell you down that beach.
so
Come on, man.
I see it every day now.
Hit the brand. Hit the brand.
Huh?
You hit the market. Hit the brand. Go.
So branding is this. Branding is actually your flavor. So let's say, for example, with Bully Shampoo. That's another one of our brands.
Yeah. Right.
So our niche is the bully culture. So there's plenty of shampoos out there. However, you have to have an angle and a niche to go at it, and it's all part of that reciprocity. They say you want to conquer the world, you have to start off with your block. So branding is actually really dialing down on that niche, and where you want to sell to. So who do you want to be, and who do you want to sell to? If you try to be everything to everybody, you're gonna be nothing to nobody. So that's what branding is. I'm branding Bully Shampoo to this specific niche of people. That's what branding is.
That's a different perspective.
You know, so when I just like for example, my brand is Billionaire Loan Officer. That's my brand.
And your market?
And my market is people that's aspirational.
I thought that was your community, though.
Your market is your community. You create.
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me, B. Dix. You're killing me over here, CJ. You hear him killing me, man?
Right. Your vibe is your tribe. That's who the people are going to do.
I knew that was coming because I know you say that on a regular basis.
Right. So that's what you create. That's who creates that's who going to spend money with you.
All right, bro. That was a solid answer. I give you that one. That was solid.
So and then your brand is that particular folks. My brand and Corey's brand, two different things.
Yes.
You know, so it's the same product, but your brand is how you label it. What angle you're going to go at it. What people you're going to target.
Here you go, man.
That's how that.
Marketing is your marketing. Marketing is the service that we provide. I'm gonna lump you in this, CJ, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I have 5 listings, so I'm marketing 5 listings. The brand that I have is the community that I create who believes in the things that I do, which is I deal with most of the investors. So I create a community of investors who just want to deal with investments, and I provide my community of investors who want to invest in multifamily or fix and flip. And I provide them with what I have as far as my listings, because my listings are quote unquote squared in for what they like and what they want. I list my properties at a point where an investor will come and get it because it's advantageous based on rehab, based on the purchase price, based on the rate of return. That's marketing. What I thought, from my perspective, that's marketing. So I have listings, I market that way.
So
My
I think
brand, my community, the brand I created for the community, which are investors. I'm not going to go to a first-time home buyer and talk about, hey man, we're gonna try to get this thing at 70% minus ARV, but if we can't, we can get it at 70% and do a light rehab and turn it around. They won't understand the shit I'm saying. That's investor talk. So I can bring that to my community that attach themselves to my brand as me being a realtor for the investor.
I think you not saying that you're wrong, but I think it's different. A lot of people make the common mistake of confusing marketing with promotion or selling. You know,
you said we're selling. We're selling something, right?
Yeah, but that's not marketing. That's promoting.
Oh, it's promoting.
Right. You're promoting these properties. You know, and you're marketing to investors.
Okay.
And your brand is I deal with investors.
But a brand also is, when you create the brand, you're creating this brand specifically for this community that you believe that likes sushi. You're not creating.
Right.
You're not
I agree with you on that.
Hamburgers every day.
I agree with you on that. The only part I disagree with is on the marketing part. The marketing, you're promoting these 5 houses, and you've already marketed to your community, which is your investors. That's your market. Hence the word marketing.
Took it that route.
You know, everything's in the language. We got to pay attention to the language, etymology, marketing. They would have called it if it was promoting, they would call it promote. That when you promote something, you know. So a lot of people confuse those things. You promoting it those properties. You can't, you know. marketing though, you
When
can
we
market
do
a
the- when you
property.
send out the zero down programs, is that promoting or marketing a product?
Say it again. You broke up.
When you do the down payment assistance program or the 3-2-1 buy down, are you promoting a product or are you marketing that product?
That's promoting a product. You know, that should be about 20% of marketing, but that's not marketing within itself. Who are you promoting to? If you have nobody to promote to, there is no market.
You promote it to the masses. You're promoting it to regular buyers. But my investors, no, they wouldn't really care about that because the number that they're going to get there is that when we purchase, right?
But the part that people are missing, that's why they miss a step and they just shoot everywhere, is they think promoting, then all of a sudden you're gonna catch somebody. That might be true back in the days, but now you're gonna have to actually create that market. And if they have, and what I mean by create that market, what's gonna make you different from all the thousands of other listings that they got out there, all the thousands of other realtors they got out there? What makes you different?
Because of what I specialize in.
Well, a lot of people specialize in that.
I specialize in investments.
Natalie that was on last week, she specialized in investments in Chicago.
Her style is a multitude. She does dabble a little bit of wholesaling. She does a little bit of Airbnb. She does a little bit of that. I specify in strictly multifamily and single family investment. Period. Now, do you want to do an Airbnb? I understand how it's done, but I'm not going to say, well, that's the best route we can take in every moment of the situation. You come see me, you're going to come talk about, Lemon, I heard you do investments. Yeah, what you want to know? Do you need money? Do you need somebody to help you find a contractor? What do you need to get you where you want to go?
Right.
And I provide those tools in the toolbox.
Well, speaking of which, just switching the subject, man. So you definitely need to come to our event on March 11th, which is the collaboration over competition event.
I smoke cigars, man. I can smoke at your event, man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the packages here in a second. We're gonna
Cigars, man. I enjoy it.
So we got that coming out. So we gonna definitely, that's gonna be focused on investors. So we the first ever to combine 3 different industries all under one roof. So we're gonna try to cross market, have pool our money together and see with different industries. Well, we got dog breeding and we got cannabis industry that's gonna be all in the same building. All the heavyweights, the juggernauts, under the same roof.
Yeesh.
So hey, it's big business. I've never smoked a day in my life. However, I have seen it grow. Meaning that I've seen the business part of it, and once it's almost
really?
like.
Yeah, and it's a demand for it, so they're gonna legalize it. Why not take advantage of it?
Yeah, I want to be on I want to be on the beginning side of it. I don't want to be late to the party. So that's it. But getting one more question. I know we are overtime here. Let's talk about. I want to get into because Corey made an interesting point about is where you want to go with this thing. I think a lot of people that's kind of in and out. That's why they kind of in that part-time role. That hadn't really jumped in and embraced it, because I think you got to marry this thing. I think it got to be in you, not on you. So in order to be one of the top people, because they say what is 93% of the business is done by 13% of the agent. So 93% of the business, the performance, the numbers, the volume is done by 13% of the agents.
Yes, I agree with that.
That sounds roughly about right.
That's about right. That's the 80-20 rule. Yeah, that works.
Right. So I'm saying that to say this is that if you look at the people that's successful, the best practices, a lot of those people have digital real estate. They have an online presence. They have, if they had been in the business, I give you what's her name, Ida Jonas out of Sugarland. She's been number one. Now her sons are on social media, but she has a presence. So she's like the number one agent in Sugarland. She does all the $1 million plus luxury housing, but she's been number one in the Houston area for a long time. She's not actually running the business. Her sons is running the business, but however, they still have a digital presence. Same thing with Ben Mala. His son's kind of running the day-to-day, but he's still active on social media. Are y'all familiar with Ben Mala or Ida Jonas or anything like that?
Nope.
You know,
So that was, you know what, B, that was a good example, B. That is a great example of establishing a brand
right.
that they have created based on the fact that they've done enough business with enough people to where the repeats turning over, people know about what they do, so they come to them because of what the great job that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
So where the son can just come in and just take over and just do the day-to-day transactions, but the ladies and the guy still has to be present online. That makes sense because all the hard work or the foundation has been laid. All they do is just sit back, do a couple of videos, and that's it. That's perfect.
Right. So this is the question. So how does somebody fresh, if you first generation realtor or first generation loan officer, how do you duplicate that now without embracing social media? How will you become that juggernaut in the field? I want to see how does that look?
Well, for that person, if okay, so the kids is taking over for the lady in Sugarland.
Right. That's dead because she done it from what worked back
But
then in
that
the 70s.
child, that son or daughter still has to quote unquote reach that new mass, which I think CJ mentioned that the generation X is all online now. So the only reason why mom and dad is still posting stuff online is to continue to grow that audience online based on the foundation of the old school traditional way of doing real estate. So when we build a house as the foundation, then you go up with the framing. The kids are the framing part right now because mom and daddy laid the foundation already there based on the transaction, how they've done business prior to them being. So when they come up on the frame, all they doing is just taking what mom already did and bringing it to the internet platform.
Right.
They're just bringing it to it on a consistent basis, right? And that doesn't mean that all the business comes from that. They're just trying to reach that new millennial that may take next year that's looking to buy because they're in college. They may take that new millennial who just came out of college, got the new job, trying to get settled with student loan debt, and they'll be ready to rock and roll because of the foundation mom made. Kids came up with a good frame of having an online presence. For a rookie or a part-timer, yes, a lot of what they do, they have to flip the script, like how you say, 70% of what they do has to be online because that's the most efficient way of their time. If they still punching the clock, they have to punch the clock and still be able to quote unquote create enough posts that's reaching enough people, and then they follow-up game got to be strong, like no other. Because if they follow-up game ain't right, CJ gonna come and snatch it anyway, but they didn't call him back. Ain't that right, CJ?
You know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if their follow-up game got strong, they still not gonna succeed with even the best presence, even with spending the most money on the beautiful 4K videos or the great photography or the great content. If you don't call them folks back, they done, or text them back or direct message them back, whatever, they done.
Yeah, because I think what they say, you
That
got
old
like
school mentality of being able to be reached and you reaching them at the right time, that still works. I've got many deals where man, you know what? You're the only agent that called me back. Thank you. I would tell my fellow colleagues, call folks back. CJ, call the people back.
you could like even if like experiment, just call an agent. There's so many of them that don't even pick up the phone now.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because they're at work. They can't answer the phone.
Hold on.
They part-time.
They still don't pick
Yeah,
up the phone.
You know, that's you know, so you agree with me. I think with the new age, it's a new world, that has to be the catalyst.
It does.
It's
For a part-timer, yes. That's the best,
Right.
that's the most efficient use of their time.
right. It's the technology's there. Why not? You know, we used to have put messages on birds and send them, and you know that's how we used to. Now we have a whole computer in our front pocket. So things have changed. So how? Again, I'm gonna pass it back to Corey. So how does that look? Hyman agrees with me. How does that look? How would that happen?
I agree with you for part-time. Part-time.
Right. Well,
Somebody
even full time,
who
even
yes. But I also said if they follow-up game ain't right, see they
Right.
gonna come and take their opportunity.
right,
You
right.
can blast on social media and all that want. Me and
Well-
see they gonna come and just clean it up. Hey, I'm glad you was able to see it online. Here's what I can do. What you need to do? I'll call you when you get up. You get off work at 5:30. I'll call you while you're sitting in traffic. Let's talk about it. And I'm gonna close you. And
Well,
then
see, that's a common
tell
mistake
TJ
too.
we're gonna close them while they sitting in traffic.
No,
That's a common
no doubt.
mistake too. People think that it's all about the posts on social media. That's false. You know. So it's you got to know how to work social media. You know, but
True.
again, I'll go to Corey again. How does that look? Even I would say even not just part timers, but even somebody that's new in the industry that's full time. How would that look to be a juggernaut in their field without inverting it? 70% social media, 30% other stuff.
Kill it, Core.
So we're talking about from a business perspective, you know what I'm saying, how they can actually have a successful business without being 70% in
Bring the
social
fire.
media.
Bring
Is that
the
the question? Is?
Right. That's the question.
That's the question. Man, it's scary. Hey, look, the way I would say is, you know what I'm saying, is that it's all about network. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more groundwork because now you're trying to plan out these networking events that you have to physically go be at. We're not webinars and that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about title company events, classes, seminars, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Like any kind of networking event, now you got to be boots on the ground to show up there to actually meet people and form these partnerships where they can actually send you business.
I'm raising my hand like on Zoom. You know, this is most of the events are based on social media. Eventbrite.
You can't how a
Not
person
quite.
gets to that event be
Hold on,
dick.
Eventbrite is a big one, but right now, you know what I'm saying, it's actually sending out emails. You have a network of emails where, you know what I'm saying, you send out an email to actually send out notices about these things. So you don't necessarily have to have these events at Eventbrite. Everybody's junk mail and everybody's email is full of bulk of these emails where they're marketing some kind of event.
Don't forget, I just did the Eventbrite last night. The first thing they asked me is to share it on social media. They had everything lined up for me. Connect your Facebook, connect your LinkedIn, connect your Twitter, connect all the first thing they asked me to do.
Okay. That was one person. That probably only one, two persons.
No, that's it. That's built in the system.
Right. But that doesn't go back to the question that doesn't go back to the question that you're asking.
So, but you said events. How would you market these events without social media?
Oh, B, Dick, you can't change the question up now.
No, but
See,
you said his answer was events, right? How would you get people to turn out to events if it wasn't social media?
Look. All right, let me tell you this. A realtor hosts an open house, right?
Okay.
When a realtor hosts an open house, you have a sign-in sheet.
Okay.
If you wanted to market to that group, you ain't got to put it on social media. You send them an email blast.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. But you're making it seem like it's either social media or nothing.
No, I'm trying to get you to answer your own question. That this is it is the lifeblood of marketing nowadays.
It's not the lifeblood of marketing. You can
trust me what I'm saying. You go.
So check this out. But as a new agent, and you're trying to get your name and face out there, you definitely got to hit networking events. But it's 50,000 other people that got a head start on you.
Right.
What's the quickest way and most efficient way to get some exposure?
Sphere of influence.
So here's the thing. We got to identify, are we trying to get exposure or are we trying to get a lead?
Should we try to do it all?
No. We can't do it all. I think B talked about being able to, we're going to go back to his sushi analogy. If we're trying to find a person to eat sushi, we're not going to Burger King, right?
I think your analogy,
but then I just found out about the new spot. But I just found out about the new spot, Uchi,
right,
on Instagram.
Right. I think if you go to an event, you hoping that it's like going to Publix hoping that they have sushi. You know, you don't know. I think the people gonna find you if you put out, hey, I got sushi. It's a lot more accessible. You hashtag that thing right, they're gonna find you.
And then look, they changed it now, but Facebook had it to where you could even pinpoint people in a certain age group. The
technology is there.
Like
the technology is there.
Right.
We don't agree.
You could pinpoint that thing down to a street before they changed it now.
Exactly.
But
so
you could pinpoint.
We used to have pagers. We used to have to stop, get out the car, and then Now use that payphone, use that cord on the
Old
payphone.
technology compared to B Dix. You're killing us over here, man.
Hey, first we started with the rotary phone. Then
We
we
started with the rotary phone. If you mess up, you gotta hang that bad boy up and start all over. Hey, hold up, man. That was a 6. So we used to have all this stuff. That what I'm trying to get to understand now it's changed. Now we got a computer on our hip. This thing right here. Why not embrace this here?
All right, how about this, B Dix? So we online, B Dix. If you go to my Facebook page, I think I have maybe 200 friends. On my business page, I may have 89. I go send out. I got a listing. I'm gonna blast it out probably tomorrow, right? When I blast that new listing out, how many impressions do you think I'm gonna get?
This depends on how are you marketing to? Who you're marketing to? Are you targeting?
No, I'm not using targeting marketing. Remember, we're rookies.
That's the problem.
Hold on. We're talking about rookies. So I'm a rookie. So all I know is how hard tell us to hit promote on social media. It's all LinkedIn, right? But now you're telling me I need to go to a different place on Facebook and Instagram to create target marketing for the ideal person that is by my house.
Correct.
I don't know who that ideal person is yet, DJ.
That's how you need to learn,
hustling
educate
backwards.
yourself through social media, through YouTube. There's courses out that you need to educate yourself on how to specifically use these platforms.
Especially if you're spending money on these ads.
Right.
But you guys mentioned using an ad. I just put it out there and I only get how many impressions you think I'm gonna get.
Well, that's the point. If you just posted that's what I said. A lot of people think it's about posting. That's not about posting. It's all about pixels, retargeting. It's all about people. It's all about search engine optimization. It's all about having your digital footprint so big they're gonna have to run into you. I can't tell you how many people per day and how many emails I get that want me to come to their company just off of my social media presence, just off of my digital real estate, my footprint.
I agree because it's massive. I've looked at it.
Yeah, you almost can't get around loans in Houston without bumping into me. I'm like the first person that pop up on LinkedIn.
Man, you got a great freaking name, though. Being that loan officer. Anything
Right.
a loan officer, you coming up, fool.
Right.
That's
branding.
Don't get it twisted. I think
Right.
it was excellent.
That's branding. So a lot of people.
But
Yeah,
as a rookie B Dix, who's gonna take the time and the money to figure out how to do that? Rookie's not gonna be able to
It was
do that.
free. It was sweat equity.
We talking about an 8 to 5.
What are you talking about? Somebody that's working?
Yes, remember the whole discussion about how you get a rookie going.
So if you work 8 to 5, if you work 8 to 5,
you went from a guy who just started out to a person that you think is going to be advanced. So they're going to spend 3 to 5 hours a day on YouTube trying to figure out how to do target marketing, how to really be effective. But yet they still have not got their name out there to say I'm in real estate because they're trying to figure out who do I need to target to do real estate. Instead of them just hitting the phone and saying, "Hey man, my name is Lemon. I just got my real estate license. Is it okay if I call you and text you every now and again just to keep in touch and let you know what's going on in the real estate market?" Period. That worked. Has nothing to do with
you oversimplified it. Don't forget about the 100 calls that didn't answer.
But here's the thing, B. They know
you spent 3 hours to finally get that one person on the phone. So this is the thing, would you rather spend 3 hours educating yourself on learning how to effectively do something or spend 3 hours on the phone finally getting one person to finally answer?
But here's the thing though. Yes, you're right about the part of optimizing your time. As a rookie coming into this industry that's trying to make it happen, your best method is to call the people who already know you.
I disagree.
They already know, even though they know you, even if they know you was a back in high school, they still know you.
Well, this is the thing. Don't forget all of these posts. He ain't on social media, so you don't know. Me and CJ are actively on social media. All the posts about how your family don't support you. You know what I'm saying? It's cool when they do it. When I do it, y'all support me. So F them. You know what I'm saying? All of these posts, it's coming from somewhere. So they saying that people that know you
before, bro. How he know it's happened to him before too?
Yeah, people that know you don't support you.
I know that.
I got a cousin right now that's in the market.
I don't want the people who know me to support me. I want to get in their circle. I don't expect my cousin to buy a house from me, but I expect him to tell his cousin, "Hey man, people sell houses, man." And it happens.
They don't. That's why I did the show about family. A lot of family don't want to see you shine.
I don't disagree with you on that. I watch
Now,
it
when
so
you
much.
up there shining, they're gonna want to take that ride with you. But you gotta make it. You gotta get it on your own.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a product of KW. I wish Barry was on the line. I'm a product of KW. They taught us a long time ago when we first started. Hey, don't think your family's gonna help you buy a house. No,
Exactly.
That's why I started too.
Right.
I started there too.
So I know that philosophy, and I learned. Okay, look, I'm not trying to get in my cousin to buy a house. I want my cousin's friend who drives trucks. Don't call me. Let's talk. Because all I need my cousin to do is say, "Hey man, my cousin their house is calling. His name Lim. He is phone calling.
Right.
And he called me. I'm closing.
I don't disagree with that
But-
method, but I don't think that's not. I think that it's not gonna get as much as you think. Yeah, it'll be a warm call. You'll feel comfortable, but I think the growth is when you're uncomfortable.
True.
You know,
And
so I
it's
think when you get uncomfortable, get in front of that camera. Again, I used to stutter and stuff. You can still hear a little bit. So I freestyle. I don't write none of this stuff. Before I worked with Mac, I used to all my lessons and stuff. My book, I didn't take no notes. I wrote that shit. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm freestyling a lot of this shit. So as you keep on doing something, you get better and better at it.
What? I hear you, dog.
You know what I mean? So, and just be yourself.
I don't disagree with that.
Be yourself,
Yeah.
and then people will find. I have a, and it's even more mesmerizing in person. When I'm in person, I command the room. So if I could get a little bit of that Bruce Leroy glow,
We bring that fire tonight.
right? If I could get some of that Bruce Leroy glow and hit it to the.
Hey, go catch the bullet with your teeth up.
Yeah, but man, you gotta catch the bullet. I'm not who the master, man. You know what I'm saying? So man, you gotta put some of that Bruce Leroy glow out there, man.
I hear you.
And then catch what you can catch, man. So people like people. You got somebody for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody personality, somebody gonna like your personality and do business with you. If you hiding it, I think it's gonna be harder and rougher in this day and age to get to the volume numbers. I think I think that's old school. I think there's only so much that realtor can do for you as a loan officer. They can talk you up, they can tee you up, but they're gonna check you out. People gonna want to do business with.
Now you want to add as a loan officer.
Right, and there's only so much your cousin could do for you as an agent.
True.
The people,
But that's what they say too. As a real estate, is like it's no success in being a secret agent. You got to
Exactly.
get out
right.
No.
there. You got to get out there.
You got to get out there. So I think you might as well get married to the life. This is 1099. It's eat what you kill. It's 24/7. Get used to it. If you want to hop in and hop out, get a W-2. That's what I used to say. If you want to clock in and clock out, get a W-2. If you want to go unrecognized, I'm Brandon B. Dixon 24/7. I'm on 24. That Bruce Leroy glow is on. It's in me. It's not on me. It's on all the time. Showtime.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's showtime. I'm going, hit her with the smile. I'm going, what I mean? I'm going to hug the women. I'm going to kiss the babies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna leave that part. We're gonna leave that alone right there.
You know what I mean? You got to be on. You got to be on. You got to be on 24/7.
I agree with you on that, man. I have a saying. You've heard my thing multiple times now. Hey, man, my light bill due next month. I ain't got time to fool around with you, man. If you ain't trying to put nothing together, I can crack a joke with you later.
Right. But hey, I think it's all going. I think for the more seeds that you throw out there, especially positive seeds, the bigger the harvest.
That's true.
I think the more you influence people just hitting the room and because think about it, this is in my book as well. More people have a negative experience than positive. People can count on both hands the times they have a positive experience all year. So if you bless them, I'm trying to be a blessing, not just a a person. I'm trying to be a blessing to everybody that come in contact with. I'm gonna bless you with something.
One
You know
way
what
or
I'm saying?
another.
I'm gonna bless you with at least a smile or some kind of game, or sprinkle you with some game or something. You know, and you're gonna have a positive experience. And that's. And then when I kick the bucket, I let the audience decide who was I. You got what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
On this-
so this just be good to everybody, man. That's I learned this when I first got in the business. This is I know I'm rambling. I know CJ. You got to get it at 9 o'clock. This is the latest we ever rocked it.
That
You know
meat
what I'm
is
saying?
running through his veins.
So I learned this. I went to. You ever heard of Mastermind?
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to Mastermind when I first got into business in 2017, and this was in Vegas. One of the top realtors in the country. This is what he said. He said, "Man, he echoed what I just said. Man, be good to everybody, and eventually, it's gonna come back to you.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So treat everybody like they want to be treated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you never know. Again, like I said, my couple of deals that I did since I've been a broker was the dude sat next to me on the plane, gave him some game. That's how you create your audience, man. That's how you create your. That's your brand. My brand gonna be a good dude. This is what it is.
Yeah. That's very true. I
You know,
agree.
so I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. Let me go ahead and let y'all do your outros, man. And let's go ahead and wrap it up. CJ, I know you gotta get out of here, so I'll start with you first.
Like I'm gonna leave before everybody else.
I think you did one time, boom. I looked up, you was gone.
Little mama might have been crying that night. I don't know.
Well, I know she probably sleep 9 o'clock.
Yeah. She better be asleep. Nah, she's good though. All right, everybody. CJ the Realtor here, or a broker too, but broker Greenwood Realty Group. Check out the website greenwoodrealtytx.com if you looking for a customized list of properties popping up on the market, trying to take advantage of these deals that's popping up. Sign up on there. Got the YouTube channel, CJ the Realtor. We're doing the Home Tours Luxe Edition, showing y'all the luxury homes in Houston, some of the hottest, best looking properties that are out here. So check that out. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, share it with your people, all that good stuff. Of course, we've been talking social media. My social media handle, CJ Sells Texas, CJSELLSTX. So go on there, follow me, check out my content. You want to talk real estate, hit me up on the DM or call me or text me 832-338-3182. That's what, like we said, we do this 24/7. Then we're giving back to our young men, nonprofit The Mansa Academy. Go out to our website, themansaacademy.org. If you're looking to donate, whether it's time or money, we accept it all. So go on there, the forms are available. Check that out. Help us give back to our youth.
Right. And this to reiterate that, don't be on the lookout for that GRG, which is Greenwood Realty Group and HOC combination coming soon. So that's gonna be, we coined the term reloads, man. Reloads. That's what we're looking for. A real estate agent and loan officer. So you want to be a dual agent, we about to start recruiting. We opening the agency here soon, probably in February, coming soon. So you don't want to get under some of the best to do it. Black owned. We're looking at marketing juggernauts. And we're gonna teach you how to sell and market, and you're gonna be, make more money per deal. Why not? Why not make more money, get more bang for your buck?
Is that why y'all trying to key in on the luxury market because you feel like you just make more bang for the same amount of time?
Well, the reason why we keying on the luxury market is just it fits the brand. With the being that loan officer, and then a lot of people I've been getting from social media, a lot of people are investors and in the luxury market. I get a lot of VA people that there is no cap. With the VA, I got lenders that'll do $4 million on the VA. So those people are in those $1 million houses. A decent house nowadays, if that's your dream house, gonna be tickle that million. If it ain't that million, it's gonna be tickling that million. It's gonna be close to it. So it's that time. My house is a starter house. That bad boy. What we did the count? What 350?
Mm-hmm.
That's a start. I got a starter house, a bachelor pad. So $1 million. Ain't what it used to be.
Oh yeah, shit. Everything in the loop about to hit $1 million.
Yeah, yesterday's price ain't today's prices. I remember the 99 cents Whoppers and all that. That's gone.
What they say? A dozen eggs like $8 now or something.
Yeah, shit. Egg $8.95. I just came from the grocery store for a dozen.
Eggs
of bad boy.
$8.95.
Yeah, eggs are $8.95 a dozen.
Damn.
Pay that $8.95 will get you some chickens.
You know,
I'm going with chicken.
shit. A chicken sandwich, man. A chicken sandwich, man. You remember you used to go to McDonald's or Burger King, man. $5, you come out that bad boy full.
Yeah.
Man, $5 don't even get you a half a burger now. Man, burgers $10.
And they smaller.
And they smaller. It's real out here in the field.
Don't supersize it.
Right.
That'll take you way over there.
Man, you look at that $30 combos. $20 some change. I gave a bum a dime. He looked at me like I was stupid the other day.
You gave a dime, bro.
No, I gave him a 10. I mean a $10 bill. That's what we call the street.
I was like, that was disrespectful.
Yeah, no. I gave him a $10 bill. He looked like to me like I was stupid. So they ain't gonna buy him a burger.
I ain't gonna buy him a stick of gum at the corner store.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's changed, bro. Like, but the wages the scary part, the wages hadn't changed. There's still people making, less than 10 an hour, 15 an hour. That's poverty.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So you better get on this thing. I'm looking. I think Corey and I were talking about this, man. I looked on my Facebook. Half of the Facebook got OnlyFans now. All the female, all the good female. You know what I'm saying? The quiet girls got the OnlyFans now going. Like, man, it's crazy.
And shoot, not just that. There's all these e-commerce businesses. People selling clothing, accessories, shit, eyelashes. You see all of them popping up everywhere.
Right. So the technology is there. It's the side hustle economy. You got to have 3-4 hustles. You better be a caterer. You better have your OnlyFans. You better have, you know what I'm saying? You better have your Etsy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? So you better have a couple of things. And the good thing is, as a lender, they start to accept all that. All that, I got lenders that take all that
As income.
as income.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So, Corey, I know we chopping it up, man. But this was all about, man, having fun, man, having fun. What you doing, man?
Absolutely.
You want to go ahead and take him out?
Yeah. Corey Smith, mortgage broker. Call me 832-297-7659, or feel free to shoot me an email, smithmortgageteam@gmail.com.
Hyman, what you want to? I know you ain't on the social media, but
It's the issue is that I am on.
right,
Am I as active as B and CJ? No, I'm not.
right.
I'm active as you guys. I do enough posts randomly, just for certain things that goes on.
Right.
You see, my name is Hyman with H&L Premier Realty. If you want to reach out to me, it's 832-235-0985. Love to talk with you, chat with you about what your plans and goals are going forward. My niche is real estate investing, but I do help traditional buyers and sellers. Every tool in the toolbox is at your exposure that you need. By the way, B, so tell me this, B.
Mm-hmm.
Since they ain't giving no more money out, they ain't raising wages, though. The average household income in our city is right about $56,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how are we going to combat if the average household income is 56 and a basic mortgage now $2,100?
21. Yep.
Isn't that kind of pricing them out the market? Is that one of the reasons why you decided to go big to the luxury side?
Always look.
They building houses.
Yeah, looking 10 years down the line, going to luxury, and it's just a natural occurrence. Like with people, I'm seeing the trend of people who seek me out. It's more investors. It's more people with VA, people with a lot of money. It's people that's kind of kind of similar to me, kind of empty nesters that's going to their eventual dream home. So it's like my presence is kind of attracting similar to where I am. So and it's getting less and less first time home buyers. And
I
so
called
I'm
CJ.
in.
Was that today? I called you CJ. Was that yesterday?
Say it again.
I think it's yesterday. No, the day before yesterday.
I'm trying to do a deal out there in Acres Homes. So come to find out, CJ did a $400,000 deal, right? I'm like, CJ, I need to know how much y'all paid on rent, man. It was only $1,650. I'm like, no, I can't buy this property at $400,000, and it's only gonna give me $3,200 in gross rental income. It won't work, man. They just appraising so high, man. That was CJ was like, damn, I know that. Oh, y'all are killing me. I'm trying to make money for my people.
Right.
Make money for my people.
Well,
And
I
make sure
think
that's
too.
when you utilize it, like that other part of the toolbox. Got to utilize that other bag with the short term leasing too.
Well, what we do is that we buy them, fix them, put tenants in them, and sell it, right? But it still has to make sense. Period.
Gotcha. So
So
you
I had to put one that was right down the street from you because I talked to another agent. They said they got $2,100 for theirs. I'm like, dog, in Acres Home, $2,100.
Yeah, bro.
I can see it's realistic, and don't get me wrong. 10 years, like B say down the line, that's gonna be the norm. But in 2020, fuck.
Oh, and add to what I was saying as well. It's almost like when I talk to investors, we talk to you, like you said earlier, you alluded to earlier, like we talk the same language. It's less emotion, it's more numbers, it's more what is bottom line, what's the rate, what can I do for
ROI.
them? Yeah, it's more of a connection. So I'm kind of seeing where this being out in the market and kind of seeing where your preference goes. And then not saying that I won't, but what we're doing now is we're gonna cater to everybody. So now we're bringing people in that will cater to that market. However, we're to the point in our career, CJ and I, that we wanna deal with the not deal with, that's a bad word, but we're more versed on dealing with the investors and dealing with the luxury buyers. So we will train people and recruit people that's going to handle our first-time home buyers.
That's a tough market to be in, man.
Yeah, and my thought is since
Tough, man.
since wages and income is not keeping up with the housing market here, I think we're gonna start seeing people coming together, buying houses together. So you're gonna have multiple families in houses sharing one house, just like we see in other communities. They're already doing it.
Yeah.
Our community hadn't been doing it, but I think that's gonna be something that we start seeing in the future.
Or you could be, or you could heed this, like the last warning for y'all, and get on this collaboration of a competition, and get that income to supplement the gap.
But you know what? When you try to tell people to do something else to supplement the gap, they're not operating in the mindset of, okay, if I do this and I make some money, where do I put it? Right? They'll put the money in one bank account, and you can't really identify that this came from one business versus the other.
Right.
Because I've had that problem. Like, I know a person who was washing cars, and they did really, really well. But because they just put all the money in one bank account, couldn't really source the income to say it was this from that.
Well, that's what the event about. We're gonna teach this is the final. We were like some of your last chance. We're gonna teach you how to actually get this to where, if you unskilled labor and your cap is 40,000-50,000, how else can you get to that $100,000 a year? You're gonna have to have a different income. You're gonna have to have a business, or you're gonna have to have investment that's gonna cover that other 50,000.
How about this? What is the new tool for those who are coming out of school with this massive amount of student loan debt? Student loan debt is getting astronomical.
Right. So
I've had deals fall through because the student loans.
Well, they changed part of it. Instead of taking a percent, it's 0.5%. They changed some of the guidelines to fit. Instead of a percent, it's 0.5%. Also, if it's deferred more than 12 months, then we could count what's on that on the credit report, or you could, if they're in an income-driven repayment program, we could take what's on there. So there's things that you could do to actually that's in the guidelines. However, it's going to take a person like me, and that's why I've always say, for those who have given much, much is expected. It's going to take somebody like me to make it, and CJ to make it cool, to actually have the mind frame to doing the right thing. And what I mean
I
by the
thought,
right thing, and
you
what I
know,
mean by the right thing is actually, instead of going to school, take up a trade like sales. Instead of going to school, getting in all this massive debt, let's go into real estate investment. Why get a worthless degree? These humanities degrees, these mass comm degrees are worthless.
Yep.
Yeah. Shoot. You know how many plumbers we need out here right now?
Right.
For real.
If you're gonna go to school for something professional, STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. Go or professional, doctor, something like that. But humanities, a sociology degree, mass comm, you're gonna be on the sales floor eventually. You're just gonna be on the sales floor with a massive debt.
Yeah, and I'll even speak on that because my background is engineering. I had a whole job lined up the semester I graduated. They had an engineering hiring freeze, so my job was gone.
Right.
So I had to almost start from scratch.
Exactly.
And then and I had student loans. So 6 months later, Sallie, they don't care about your situation. You out of school, they want their money.
Right. And we think, and this is what I thought as well, just going to college just to go to college for the experience, and thinking that you automatically, a degree is a degree. They don't give a damn about your degree. It's more about who you know.
Networking.
Yep. You know, I had to kind of pivot earlier part of my career from working with school teachers because they carry so much debt. They got good jobs. They've been in the school district, making solid money, but the debt they would carry from student loans was so ridiculous that you just couldn't do anything with it. And that was horrible. Even with what's that? Is it part of the first responders? The teachers are included as far as getting those great grants and stuff like that?
The Heroes program and all that.
Yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
That really couldn't even help because the debt they was carrying was so massive. But
that's not the case for all the teachers, but that's just because education, you get paid more the higher education you go. So you're saying, a lot of these teachers go into debt deep trying to chase that higher salary.
But even with the higher salary, if they bring in more debt, they're not able to go get the house that they need to get.
Right.
Well, it's a mind frame. Again, Corey said it a couple of shows ago. It's mind frame. Our mind frame before, in order to earn more, we had to go back and go into school and go into debt in order to get this degree, in order to earn more. The first day, I'm going back to school. That's the old mentality. Again, Corey and I are seasoned enough. I could almost tell a person's profile or ethnic background by their credit application. Yep. I can kind of see look at the Hispanic population. They chose to boycott college and they went straight into a trade or went into the family business. A lot of times they got a bank load of money and they have no debt. That's why they got A1 credit. And they get a start instead of going that 4-year college, they get a start earlier building up that business. So by year 4, they humming along. By the time we just starting out. Yeah. So the school a lot of times do absolutely nothing but extend our arrested development. It's extended teenage years. For us to act a fool.
It's even more prevalent now because even like back then we was in school, they had trades in high school where you could learn carpentry or all that. That's gone.
That's gone.
So they want you to be employee.
Right. Well, now again, like I said, there's a mass exodus from work. A lot of people just ain't returning to work because a lot of these millennials ain't going for it no more. Mm-hmm. They won't be influencers. They can make more money on TikTok than they can, slicing a Subway sandwich. Even if you're not even good as an influencer. I got a $600 check last month. I ain't from Facebook. And I'm not even heavy on there. So and I'm seeing Ben X and all them getting $60,000 checks. So the technology is there. You don't have to. It's the Aquarian age. It's the creative age. It's no longer Back in the days when the technology wasn't there, you had to. The only way you can make a decent living is clock in and clock out. That's gone now. You can make $1 million off your phone.
Yeah, you don't see nobody working at a job 30 years, getting a pension and retiring. That don't exist no more. They'll lay you off. They'll lay you off the month before you're supposed to retire,
Right.
so, so they can save and them shareholders keep that money.
Everything's going virtual now anyway. Like I said, it's going virtual. It's going to be the different. They're still going to have retail. The retail is going to be the unskilled workers, but there's still going to be a market for high end sales. There's still going to be luxury goods they got to sell. It's still going to be Lambos. There's still going to be pools and drapes and all the high end and real estate you got to sell. So there's always going to be, even though AI is going to try to do its best to replace all of us, they're still not going to be able to replace me smelling like it's Miyake coming through and laughing at the jokes.
The throwback.
You know,
Okay, you should have just said cool water.
you know, I got that Thallium, man, on the dresser, man. Thallium. What you know about that Thallium?
Nah, I have no idea. I got
Thallium.
heard that.
Yeah, Thallium and Thallium Black. And then I got that Spice Bomb on the dresser.
Man, I got the 1 million.
That 1 million go hard.
And
Right.
I got the Polo Sport blue and green.
Right. Oh yeah, I bet that's Polo Sport, the blue and the green. But you can't replace that. You know, somebody coming in, that human touch, you're not going to be able to replace that. You know, so for high end sales, there's always going to be a room, or there's going to be space for that.
Yeah, real estate is a relationship based business. There's only so much that you can do automated.
Right.
It's
'Cause
gonna
look
have
at what Open Door.
Yeah.
They failed horribly.
Zillow.
They hemorrhaging money.
Zillow took a big hit on them properties they bought.
Right. You're not gonna be able to. It's that security that you get when somebody laugh at your jokes and all that stuff, and somebody, you know, taking you by the hand and taking you in these properties and telling you what they think. You know, so you're not gonna be able to replace that. So I would suggest to a lot of people, young people, instead of going, I know y'all want to get that college experience and all that. I wanted to get that college experience, watching School Days and all that back in the day. But you know,
But
it's more feasible for you to actually skip college and go straight into business and put that 4 year into your business. By the time that's going to pay off better than that college debt, because you're going to spend the next 15, 20 years paying that off, as opposed to dumping a little money into your business or in a trade and rocking it from there.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, though. They'll give you all kind of money for student loans and going to school. They can give that kind of money to start a business.
I think that's another thing that was 10 years ago. They slinging that money.
With what stipulations?
And then even still, I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying, you can't say, you know, not go to school. Like, if you don't know what you want to do, if you have a trade, they have trade schools where you can actually learn a specific field.
Right.
So you don't necessarily have to go to a 4 year or a JUCO or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a welder, there's a welder school for that. You want to be a nurse, you know, there's a nurse school for that. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying not get educated.
Yeah, I'm not saying not get educated, but I'm talking about the 4 year colleges, the traditional 4 year degrees and 2 year degrees. There's YouTube University. You know, there's underwater welding. You know, underwater welder makes 6 figures. You know, so you know, my cousin went to become an electrician. Now he's a master electrician. Now he's making damn near 7 figures because all he do is write contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's other trades and there's other stuff to get into that we could get into, and you put the same amount of time that you put into for college, and you could eat better and without the debt.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to get educated, but I think the formal education is overrated. I think college is, you know, one of those scams that we got hit over the head with and told that's what we had to do. You know, so. With that being said, I see the glaze in the eyes, man. So,
Look like that's that meat in that Piccolo.
Collaboration Over Competition Investment Club. Y'all join us. This is my bedtime, so that just hit my bedtime. This hit. So, Collaboration Over Competition Investment Club. We got an event March 11th, man, 12 to 5. Please join us at Tribeca, HTX 2222 Emancipation. Again, we're gonna have the brightest minds in the building, all in one spot. We're going to teach you how to mitigate your risk, you know, and we're going to teach people how to become investors. You know, and the seasoned investors, we're gonna teach you how to invest in. We're gonna pool our money together and invest in different industries. A lot of industries that you never thought had money in there. You know, so and a lot of money. You know, people eating, making millions of dollars off the street. You know, so we're gonna teach you about all that. Go to my website, applywithb.com. Again, if you're trying to get a mortgage or trying to book me for a Zoom. Cash out the Power of Ownership. If you want to be a sponsor at the show, go to Cash Out Power of Ownership. That's what we're going to do to donate. We got VIP. We got 2 or 3 VIPs available. We got boots available at $200, and then we got regular sponsorships at $100. So hit the Cash App up Power of Ownership, or send me a message and I'll see you in the sponsorship sheet. Call me 832-775-8357. You call me 24/7. Long as it's about business. Somebody called me the other day talking about they my cousin. I quizzed them. They ain't my cousin. You know, so you know, somebody called me telling the twin, hey, man, on your mama's side. Nah, I can't be on my mama's side. I got like 3 cousins on my mama's side. You know, so again, go to my website, HoustonCondoSales.com. If you're trying to get a new condo, high rise, or townhouse, that's for Houstonians by Houstonians. What's today's race.com? Again, quiz me. Go to the website, put your pre-qual against my rates, and I guarantee you mine's going to be cheaper. In fact, I give you a dozen eggs. If you can find somebody that I give you a dozen eggs if you could beat my rates. You know, so with that being said, man, you know, that's it for this week. I know we stayed a little bit overtime. We actually stayed an hour over, man. So y'all got double the show this week. So with that being said, we're going to say peace, man. We're going to see y'all next week.
Peace.